play of the game from way down.
1, 2, silence. Rainer getting absolutely
A team wipe.
The living bomb's going.
Oh my goodness, the ring. Bombstastic gonna find Rainer.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. Thank you, Alice, for that introduction. We are back and we're going to see a replay cast here between Saltscale Mrgles and Bread Rising Yeast Sports. Now, because this is a replay cast, we won't have drafts. We don't have to wait on the teams. We do what we want when we want. And but we don't have the opportunity to see all that draft information, but I do have the map information. So before the game started, Saltscale Mrgles banned out the Saltscale Mrgles banned out Sky Temple and Dragonshire, and Bread Rising Yeast Sports banned out banned out Battlefield of Eternity and Alterac Pass. Cursed Hollow is the first pick of the game here, and it was the pick of Bread Rising. So there you go. And this is on the current patch, so it'll have all of the current buffs and bonuses. Let's get into this game. Team Icon is something else. Yes, it is. So while we're waiting on this to load here, the bans, Bread Rising banned out Dahaka, Garrosh, and Brightwing. Saltscale banned out Uther, Johanna, and ETC. Huh. Wonder what that's for. That's interesting. Let's see. I want to get rid of that. And I think I can unpause now. I'll have to come back to that. All right, so here are your teams here. On the left, we have Saltscale Mrgles. It's going to be Blastum playing the Vikings. Chopper on the Anubarak. Marmara on the Tyrande there. Idiom's going to be playing Greymane, and Synchrony on the Sylvanas. Over here for the Bread Rising Yeast Sports, it's going to be Nerina on Zagara. Duke of Sky playing Vala. Linehouse on Rhaegar. Shenanigans playing the Illidan, and McGiblets on the Oriole. So, no actual tank here for Bread Rising. Not even an Uther. Like, they don't have a pretend tank. I guess the Rhaegar and Illidan are kind of their fake tanks, maybe? Maybe? I don't know. But Illidan is not going to be able to do a whole lot against this 4-man push up in the top lane. Especially when he gets stunned, and that's going to be first blood coming out. Here, Tyrande throwing that Ellen's Chosen on Greymane, keeping him nice and healthy. As the first tower already down up here, working on the second. We've got Zagara there in the bot lane trying to counter the Viking pressure there. But again, with Vikings, they're going to be able to gather the XP in both of those lanes. And yeah, they'll lose a little bit, you know, in the 1v1 between Zagara and a Viking. But ultimately, if they can push down, you know, one lane at a time, Saltscale wins that. And that's what we're seeing. We're going to see the rotation down here. Zagara does have vision, so Nerina is going to pull back. And this is overall the safer lane for them to push in the long run, for them to try to get a win condition out of their boss. And having the Anubarak Beetles along with the Sylvanas Black Arrows means that they can push really hard every time they go anywhere. Although Anubarak is getting very low there. The tower shot chasing him down, not quite able to get the kill. And Marmara there, keeping Chopper nice and healthy. And by nice and healthy, I mean away from death. Good detainment strike there onto Idioms, knocking him into the wall. And Duke of Sky here trying to do whatever Vala can to bring these heroes' health bars down enough to push them back. And that is a tall order. Not having any front line to stand in front of Vala, like this, the team is very squishy on the side of Bread Rising. But the whole wall is down. What did we get up top? Both towers. So this is already looking very strong here for Saltscale, and they can start working on the middle if they would like to just open up the map enough. It gives them a little bit of an XP bonus from that. Helps them to catch up when they may not be able to soak all 3 lanes all the time. But as we see, technically Bread Rising has a slight XP advantage right now, but they're losing all the towers on their structures, so coin toss? Like, I think I would rather have the towers. But the siege camp was picked up here by Bread Rising. It's the first, so far, only camp of the game. Although the Vikings will eventually be able to just bribe camps as well, so... And it looks like Bread Rising is going to skip out on that first tribute, recognizing the difference in structure values here, and they're going to try to equalize things out in the mid lane. Illidan up here versus Olaf. But this is exactly what Saltscale wants. They want to get this bottom fort down so that they can get a boss. You know, maybe at level 10, maybe they don't need it. I mean, the Greymane and Tyrande value here, along with the Beetles from Anubrak, gives so much sustain and just sustained damage that they can bring down any structure in almost no time. Checking in up top here. So one tower is down, the other at about half health, as level 7's now picked up here for both teams. Next tribute coming up is in the top lane, so we do have one of the Vikings nearby, although he's pulling away. A little bit surprising since nobody was actually there. Could have potentially had that, but opted to go back and get the bribe. Ultimately, Saltscale coming in to pick this up anyways. Sorry, I had to readjust my headset. Things got a little weird in the sound. Back into the top lane. Bot fort is already down. We have Olaf up here as well here. Now, Illidan did go diving in. A little bit of damage coming out. Anubrak getting the bro charge onto 2, and Tyrande hitting that lunar flare onto the Vala. Beetles there and the minions taking some damage from the fort. Idioms getting knocked away. I actually thought that he had disengaged, but that's not the case. Sylvanas there able to use that haunting wave to just get out. And a good knockback there. Looks like we may get the kill onto a Nubrak. So 1 kill so far for each team. And Zagara now with a significant wave is starting to push at the bottom fort here. And with that kill, this is likely going to be a tribute for Bread Rising. So they're able to defend, not have to worry about getting a curse pre-10. Yeah, that should be theirs easily. And they're going to rotate down, start working on the bottom fort as well. Mega Muffin, what? The Vikings? Exactly. And it looks like this should be bottom fort as well, so that's going to equalize things out in the bot lane. So overall, they didn't get the fort. Okay, right. They had minions. So overall, this is surprisingly balanced in the work that's being done here. I mean, top lane still has 1 tower, mid lane has no towers, bot lane has most of the fort dead. XP here is about even, although just a slight advantage. So no worries there. Illidan going up there trying to get some kills maybe, but Anubrak's going to dive in here. The Wailing Arrow coming out. Vala put into the cocoon. A Crystal Aegis along with the Ancestral will keep Rhaegar alive. So no resurrect here as Illidan pops the Metamorphosis to get out of danger. So basically all of the ultimates used here on the side of Bread Rising. And they're trying to chase down this Anub'arak. Illidan going in for it a little bit hard. Following him as he... oh man, the Haunting Wave. Wow, that cleanse keeping Illidan alive there. As the dive from Illidan following the Sylvanas at just the frame perfect moment to allow Illidan seemingly a mini hunt there, but unfortunately in a danger place. Now we'll see if Bread Rising catches this. So they're up at the boss now. They could work on this bottom boss, but they don't know where they're at, and they don't have vision on it. Illidan's gonna get started. They do have pretty solid boss burn between Illidan and Vala by themselves, but they actually have to be on it. They're gonna kill the Viking, and so they're gonna have a boss going into their top fort for sure. And I don't know that there's enough time now for them to get this before Saltscale gets here. This could be very bad. Oh, they stopped in middle. What are they doing? This is not overly ideal, because now they get this boss and this boss goes into a keep. Top boss is sitting pretty healthy though, 80%, so it's going toward a keep as well. Mid fort will go down from their push there, so okay. And now we've got both teams with bosses heading towards keeps. Illidan's gonna get brought down very low thanks to that Cursed Bullet. Kind of surprised to see Cursed Bullet with the team makeup as they are. Vala's put into the cocoon. They're looking for the stun. The Ancestral going out, gonna keep her alive. However, Illidan with this getting stunned there probably falls. No, maybe not. Almost. The cocktail nearly finishing the job there. And it's gonna be Eric picking up the tribute. So this is gonna give a curse over to Saltscale Mrgles now. Boss on the top was cleared out there. Zagar took care of that. Now they've got to do what they can to defend here. Bottom lane boss is going to get at least the wall here. I don't know if it gets even the tower at this point. The catapult will help to defend that. So pretty similar in the overall value out of their bosses. And a double Vikings versus Zagara here. They got to be... Oh, no. Okay, well, we're going back to... Yeah, that's why. I was going to say, I'm pretty sure that the Vikings can dive in and get her. The Lunar Flare coming out is going to help secure the kill onto Vala, but it's going to be a Anub'arak paying the price for that one as he dove onto the other side of the wall and couldn't quite get out. But there's still a lot of siege damage coming out of this team. I mean, you've got Sylvanas, you got Greymane, even Tyrande, you know, being able to get the auto attacks constantly to keep her team alive. A lot of value in that as well. So that is 2 keeps down from this curse. Balog's gonna fall there, make it another one, and now all 3 of the Vikings back up here in the top lane. We'll see if this is a... Oh, no. Zagara went into her Nidus network there, so she could make it up to the top. So no danger play there onto Sylvanas. So 15 to 14... Massive value out of the tribute, out of the curse there for Saltscale. And ultimately, 2.5 minutes left still on the boss on their side of the map. So the main primary win condition that Bread Rising has at this point is off for a couple minutes. We're going to see Illidan have to pull back, recognizing that the team is missing. I think he may have popped out of the vision there for just a brief second as well. So they know he's there. The Rain of Vengeance just barely hitting onto a Anub'arak at the end there. And we do have Zagara nearby, but with all of the team... Never mind, Zagara's in the bot lane. Because magic. Zagara's going to need to come back, though. I mean, yeah, I was going to say, she can't stay there if the team's going to push in with this. And they've got a double bruiser camp along with catapults. This is rough. As Vala goes into the cocoon here, we see the Cursed Bullet coming out. Greymane looking for Auriel. The Ancestral coming out to keep her alive here. However, Vala, again, taking so much damage. There's a Anub'arak falling. Metamorphosis coming out, but there's still 2 catapults doing work along with this full wave of minions and the bruiser camp. And that's going to be game number 1 going over to Saltscale. Only 4 kills to 3. Not a lot of kills in that game, but a lot of pressure from the team early on Saltscale. Equalized very well, but ultimately allowing Eric to pick that curse up just, I mean, that made all the difference. Your least favorite kind of games? Because of the lack of the kills where you just focus on getting the core? Yeah. Let's see where we're going next here. So the next game is going to be on Brax's Holdout. So there you go, stat padding all over the place. Was the pick of Saltscale. So there's an overlay in the game that shows points, but I don't know how to put the points on there. I'll have to actually look at that and see what other hotkeys and stuff do for that. That might be how like Murda and Bahamut use theirs. Let's see. All right, let's get the teams entered in here. So currently 1-0 in favor of Saltscale Mrgles. And Mrgles. All right. All set. Let's get this game started. Game number 2 on Brax's Holdout. Let me show you the maps again real quick here. Did I put that? I did. And then once we're done with the cast today, I'll show you the standings. Anything else to show after that? No, I don't think so. Just the standings. All right, game is loaded. Let me get the overlays gone, and let's get started. All right, over here to the left, it's going to be the Saltscale Mrgles. We're going to see Blastum playing Chromie, Idioms on the Chen, Chopper on Johanna, Synchrony on Phoenix, and Marmara on Deckard. And over here for Bread Rising Yeast Sports, we've got Linehouse playing Thrall. We've got Shenanigans playing Garrosh, Duke of Sky on Greymane, Narina on Kael'thas, and Mrgles on Stukov. And it is time for action, according to the announcer. So we do have Arsenal Synergy here for Phoenix. The certainly more difficult talent to get value out of, but if you can, it's certainly a high value in there. The flip onto Phoenix there, getting the silence, preventing him from warping out. That is a fantastic first blood from Bread Rising. Yes, these are replays. Yeah, this game was actually played on the 19th. So about 2 weeks ago, roughly. It was actually, it might have been 2 weeks to the day, right? 12, 13, 14? Yeah, something like that. I don't remember if it was Tuesday or Wednesday. But anyways, so yeah, let me, while they're doing a mini brawl here, let me pull up what the bans were and I'll tell you what they were. So looking for that root there, they do get a couple of stacks out of it. We'll check up in the top lane here for a bit. Maybe not yet. Greymane getting the dive in, but Phoenix is going to go ahead and warp out. And Kael'thas getting all the double flame strike value. So currently here, Chen and Thrall. Chen sitting pretty healthy, Thrall a little bit less so. But Thrall gets a lot of his value as he levels up to 4 and then potentially 7. So we'll see how that goes. The bans here, Uther banned, or let's see, Saltscale banned out Uther, Rexar, and Leoric on this. As we're going to see maybe Chopper falling here. It's actually going to be Kael'thas first, Chopper falling second. The throw away on Phoenix. Let's see, Bread Rising banned out the Gul'dan, Leoric, and Deathwing. The root coming out is gonna hit. Wow, hit the Greymane, who had 20 health. Phoenix just able to come in and get that at the end there, but the Silence able to get the Chromie, and now Phoenix falling next as well. Compared to last game, this game is a bloodbath. I think one more kill. That's the entirety of last game. 4 kills to 3. And Linehouse is looking like he might want to go ahead and help us get that right away here, being very low on both health and mana. Did I miss Cursed Hollow? You did, Batman. Sorry, but you know what? It'll be in the replay. You can go back and watch it. So here we go. Johanna has a living bomb, but she just doesn't have any friends nearby to spread it to, so she's doing just fine. Oh, the taunt there from Johanna. And I have to say, I like the taunt from Johanna. Like, it just visually, it looks cool. She stands there, spins her, throws her shield up in the air, and then catches it. It just looks neat. So far, only 4% progress in favor of Saltscale. And Synchrony there gonna get killed again. The Phoenix has been a target, and I believe died 3 times now. Yeah, 3 times here in the first 3 minutes of the game. Garrosh, however, making his first appearance onto the death charts, and we have now already surpassed the kills from Cursed Hollow. Let's check in on Chen and Thrall. Oh, okay. Thrall is backing away, so we don't have to check in much on that. So still no channel really, as we finally get the channel started with any kind of significance. Chen able to pick that up as Thrall just sitting about half health, and Garrosh, of course, off the map as he was dead. Level 7's up first for Bread Rising, throwing Johanna off the point just so that they can make sure to stop the percentage, although Greymane's heading up top to see if they can help with the Chen. Linehouse getting very low here, could fall to the Chen. Has double-digit health, 12 hit points there, as Greymane looking for the kill, can't quite get it, but does throw out that extra cocktail, just get that splash. And 88% now completed for Saltscale Mrgles. So even with the kills that the value slightly going over to Bread Rising here, they haven't been able to get any percentage just yet. And on this map, that's super important. Greymane going into the Wizened Duelist, so he's going to increase those auto attack stacks and getting the up to additional 30% damage over time. And you know what? I mean, hey, if you can do that into a Chen, just while he's standing there drinking away, why not? Feed Nyx, right? Right? No doubt. And again, you know, oh no, guys, I missed it. The rotation up from Feed Nyx. Do they get the kill on it? They do get the double kill there. Now that should give the channel over here to Saltscale, and we'll see that going in the bot lane here. So easiest to defend right now because Bread Rising is already in this bot lane. They do have the Kael'thas. Greymane doesn't do bad with his cocktail. Not great, but, you know, he does some. But really it's going to be primarily on Kael'thas with his living bombs and Flame Strike to get this wave cleared up. So definitely the wall is going to go down. Maybe they can defend the keep here, or the fort rather. It's going to be a little bit hard if Chen's going to be riding the back line though. Sitting about half health now, has to be a little bit careful, but looking for the Kael'thas, is able to hop on out using that flying kick. So it looks like the fort is, in fact, actually going to go down. So solid push from Saltscale, getting the full fort down in the bot lane here. There's the throw onto Chen, but Chen just kicks out. Yeah, both of the frontliners here from Saltscale don't really care if you throw them. I mean, obviously they'd prefer if you didn't. But a kick from Chen or a iron skin out of Johanna, and she's just going to be able to make it out of there, no problem. I just saw the Pepe there with his eyes open. I didn't see that the first time I saw that, Batman. All right, level 20s. Damn, I'm way ahead of the game. Level 10's available now for both teams. Keeping in mind, of course, this is on the current patch, so all of the upgrades we've seen are in the game now. And we're going to see the rotation in, trying to get to Thrall, so just a bit outside there, getting them down to about 40%. And Red Rising wanting to come in onto the camp invade here. Oh, they almost get the Phoenix. Can Thrall finish the job? Oh, with the Sundering, gets it. And now Chen having to disengage there. Does have Storm Earth and Fire if he needs to, so that is an option. Does get the healing well, and so the camp's going to go over to Red Rising. And make that a double camp here, as Phoenix still isn't on the table, so... Johanna down here grabbing what she can out of this camp, trying to get some damage on him, pull him in a little bit closer to the wall, see if the towers can't get in to attack those camp minions. Chromie's in this game. You were just time traveling to 20. Good point. Good point. Speaking of Chromie, what did she take at 11? Ah, yes. So she's got additional movement speed and health regeneration. Not the most common pick. Usually you see that timeout. It's a 5-second stasis. That said, there's not a lot of, like, there's no Pyroblast, for example, for her to strictly dodge. So it's basically just a variety of little bits of damage. So getting that additional movement speed and the health regen can certainly help to increase her survivability. Just pop off a Q on somebody. And actually, I don't even think it has to hit a player, right? Yeah, it doesn't even have to hit a player. She just has to cast it, and she gets that movement speed. Speaking of that movement speed, Blastum's going to throw, but it's just Stukov and Garrosh here. Greymane coming into it. The temporal loop used onto Stukov, and Stukov getting low. May fall to Johanna. Is the knockback... It is enough to save, but Chromie is going to fall anyways. Now, Kael'thas gets thrown out. Oh, man! I don't think that was an intentional throw into Gravity Lapse, but it worked out so well. Phoenix coming in with the Purification Salvo gets the kill onto Stukov, and they're chasing down, looking to try to get onto this Phoenix. Phoenix has no shield, is going to warp away, and now has Thrall to come chase down as well, so this is likely a dead Phoenix. Bit of a staggered death now, as Johanna's just about to come back on the map, and we're going to see the rotations onto the control points and see if they can't get things started again. Saltscale getting 8% on their channel. But Chromie with the time trap. Able to get out of that one, though. Thrall's going to identify this time trap and get rid of it. Doesn't want to see that. Garrosh going in with the double taunt. However, Johanna was unstoppable from the Iron Skin. Deckard not so unstoppable as he gets thrown into the team and obliterated. And Chen coming down here, this makes this a 5-on-4. But nobody's on the top to get the channel. Big damage coming in onto Red Rising as Chen trying to get that Storm Earth and Fire. No, he already had it. Never mind. Not able to do so, but the damage coming out from Chromie just demolishing as Kael'thas, Greymane, and Thrall all fall to the onslaught of the Bronze Dragonflight. Chen. And so, again, as I mentioned earlier, you know, with Chen coming down, that made it an uneven fight in favor of Bread Rising, but they just took so much damage from that Chromie, and they didn't have anybody get the control point up top, so they're just sitting at 0 still. Garrosh throwing the Phoenix. Again, there's no significant damage here, but they do have the silence. But Phoenix is just going to hop over that wall. Big curse bullet there onto Chen, but Chen's going to pop stagger. This time he does have Storm Earth and Fire. Just a little bit late was the silence from Stukov, as Sundering coming out here. Idioms is going to pull back, and Johanna's going in deep in, has the Iron Skin to prevent the Flailing Swipe from pushing her back. Both Chen and Garrosh, though, are very low. Garrosh is looking for somebody, throws Chen into the towers, but once again, pops that kick. Johanna's going to be the one to fall from Greymane, as Phoenix was looking for Greymane, but not able to get there. And that's going to give, once again, even with these kills, 12 kills to 9. Generally speaking, the kills have been, and there's another one, the kills have been in favor of Bread Rising, but they have not gotten a single % on the Zerg wave. And all the while, by the way, there's a camp pushing in the bot lane, so that's going to get that fort. Not the fort, the wall. The fort wall. The keep wall? Keep wall. And they've got to defend another Zerg wave. And this is pretty heavy here. Kael'thas doing what he can to throw out those living bombs. Also, of interest here, we've got the backdraft for the slows, but we also have Sunfire Enchantment getting the additional auto attack damage here. Temporal Loop onto McGiblets there, and Garrosh getting down to 5 health. A little bit unfortunate of the placement there, standing where that Temporal Loop was coming back. Sundering was used, and Greymane using that Curse Bullet and diving in, getting the Phoenix kill, giving them the trade, the 1-for-2 trade there, and helping them to clear out this wave coming in. There's still 3 of these Reavers? Guardians. I thought they were Guardians. That was my first guess. Oh well. No, the Reavers are the squishy bug looking ones. All right, well, with the full wall down and the full team coming up here, Saltscale Mrgles going to go ahead and pull back. Makes sense. I mean, they're only damage, really. They're Chromie, as Phoenix was dead, just coming back onto the map here. And Bread Rising is heading... They're checking on the boss. I was going to say they're heading into the middle. Not going to come in around behind. Aren't the big flying ones Guardians? The big flying ones were Guardians, yes. Yeah, I selected it. It showed at the bottom left there real quick, and then I unselected it, so. And here's Johanna catching the team in the bush. By the way, there's a Chromie time trap there, so they knew exactly where they were. The throw onto Chen, he does kick back out. Johanna getting very low. They got to get the kill. There it is, as Purification Salvo coming out. And Chromie does get taunted, but somebody's got to kill her. They're all focusing on the Phoenix. They get the Phoenix kill, so fair enough. Could see a Storm and Fire coming up right now. Never mind. Greymane's going to die to Chromie, but Chen's going to die to Thrall. And we see the Into the Fray coming in with that Thunderstorm here, so Thrall is going to be able to slow them down. Looking for the Deckard, maybe onto the Chromie. Uses that Chain Lightning onto Chromie, as doesn't want to lose the stacks. And we see pings calling about this in the bot lane. I'm kind of surprised we're not seeing a boss call. But Kael'thas is on the point, and they don't have Greymane, so not on the point. Kael'thas is clearing the top lane of the camp there. So it makes sense. They've got other things going on. They may even lose this camp if he doesn't clear. He's clearing the 1 siege camp. But I mean, Living Bomb is the value here, and could have potentially cleared out that catapult a little bit sooner. Siege camp picked up in the bot lane, so it does give them that armor penetration in the bot lane. And level 17 here for both teams. Not really a whole lot to be done. None of the camps are up except for the boss camp, so just going to see the rotation up into the top lane, gather that XP. But it is going to be the boss call here from Saltscale, so this is very aggressive and it's not being scouted. Like, they have no idea this is happening, and it could be too late. Or it could be, oh no, they walked right past it. So a very risky play there. It ends up working out. And I don't know if there was any real good way for them to, like, if they got in there, Garrosh just pops Indomitable, walks in, but does he then die? I don't know. Yes, yeah. Correct, that is a Reaver mount. Alright, so Greymane here trying to get damage onto the boss to slow it down, but the rest of the team has different ideas. The Purification Salvo coming out, Temporal Loop as well onto Thrall. Curse Bullet going out, I think it hit Chen, but he had Stagger here. Johanna getting thrown, Shenanigans looking for the taunt onto Phoenix. Thrall over here onto the Deckard, but he's going to be chased down as they do get the kill onto Chen here. But this boss is working on this bottom keep, and there's a full Zerg wave about to hit the map here. With no Garrosh and no Thrall, it's not looking super great for Red Rising here. The opening salvo of Banelings that's about to come through here is enough to take out that fort. Are they? Yeah, they're the Banelings. I was gonna say, they should be coming. So no Chen. Chromia has piercing sands, so she's gonna pierce with all of her sandblasts here. Kael'thas getting rooted. The timing on that one much better there. The Lornado being used to help to secure. Greymane getting the damage out onto Phoenix, but he was able to use that potion and heal immediately back to full. And Stukov's on the ground as well, so this looks like it's going to be game number 2 going over to Saltscale Mrgles. $17 kills to 18. That's a little bit better for you, Mega. Enjoy Chen dying to a random bug. Yeah. Is that what happened? I wasn't actually looking at it. I was elsewhere there. Just saw Chen dying. Chromie doing work on that. Did a lot of damage. Like, it felt like so many of those team fights, Red Rising was in control. They would get a kill, and then they would all die. Maybe not all of them. They'd lose 2 or 3 people. They'd get 1 kill, lose 2 or 3. You know, and again, 3 waves of Zerg, no percentage coming out from Red Rising. So, you know, really good job of Saltscale to kind of protect that Zerg control point whenever they were down on heroes, but also to capitalize on when they did have the win, you know, when they did win in a team fight, so that they could get that percentage and ultimately, you know, push in for the game. So 2-0 victory, Saltscale Mrgles over Red Rising. Let's see, how are these teams doing this season so far? Saltscale Mrgles currently number 2 in the standings, right behind Regen Phoenix. They have played 1 less game than Regen Phoenix, so they have the opportunity to tie or even potentially take the lead in first place here with their next match. And I believe that, let's see, they have played 4. Red Rising has played 4 as well. So they've got, also have another game to play here. Red Rising currently sitting at number 10 there, although tied with 2 other teams, so Boogan and Indecisive Scrubs, Boogan Squad. You know, so they've got another game or 2 to rank up into the middle of the pack there. So pretty competitive group right here. Phoenix and Party Time, the 2 teams that have played 5 games so far this season. Everybody else has played 3 or 4. So overall, you know, this looks like it's a pretty solid division. I think that was, let's see, I showed the maps, showed the standings, talked about it. I think that's all I got. So it's 5:15. I'm gonna go take care of feeding myself and feeding my dogs. and get these replays uploaded. So thanks everybody for joining me today for both the replay cast here between Saltscale, Mrgles, and Bread Rising Yeast Sports, and the earlier game that we saw between Regen Anomaly and Illa Dancing Queens. Hope you enjoyed the show. Appreciate you stopping by, and we'll see you again here soon. Probably, if I had to guess, maybe tomorrow night. There's some games going on tomorrow night. Could happen. Have a great night, folks. See you later.